Alright, bro, let's go ahead and start taxiing out. Let's see where we are. A-10s are to my left, your right, so we're going to make a right turn and head to runway 07. Alright, and I am taxiing.
He's turning behind you.
Okay, brother. Alright, so we've already talked about setter saddle, green jet. Remember, when we get to the runway, I'll ask you to call ready for takeoff. Once I get lined up on the runway and I'm about to take off, I'll call rolling. Once I'm airborne and I know I have my gear up and my flaps up, I'll call airborne, wheels up, flaps up. Just kind of knocking off a little rust, brother, that's all. Just going through a few things. You're always going to start on the left side for the wedge. Are you getting all the ATC calls in your helmet, like you're hearing the taxi or don't taxi, or whatever the case may be?
No, I'm not getting those. I'm getting some AWACS traffic and stuff like that.
Okay. If you want, you can turn that off by selecting escape and then options, and then you can take your helmet volume all the way down, and that'll be a way to get rid of all that, if that's something you want to do.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Okay. Alright, so as we're approaching the runway, I'm looking right, looking left, see nothing on final. 2 call ready for takeoff.
2 ready for takeoff.
Roger.
Does this jet have a way to lock the nose wheel steering forward?
It does not. Not that I'm aware of, at least. It should be pretty stable going forward, though. You shouldn't be, like if I don't touch the rudders, it doesn't move. Are you not seeing that? Are you having a different experience?
Yeah, it's a little more sensitive. My rudder pedals don't center, for helicopter stuff.
Ah, okay. All right, here we go. Leads rolling.
2.
Rotate speed's going to be between 130 and 150.
2 is rolling.
Okay. Leads airborne, wheels up, flaps up.
2 is airborne. Wheels up. Flaps up.
Okay. Alright, I'm holding 350 for you. Right turn. It's about a 090. We're going to head to the east. Okay. Once again, talk to me about the brevity term set or saddle and what it means.
I'm going to give you that when I'm about 20 seconds away from or within 20 seconds, which I am now. So 2 set.
Okay. Perfect. Excellent. Really good. 2 switch sides, go.
2. 2 set.
2, roger. Excellent. To spread right formation, reference 090, go.
2. 2 set.
2, roger. To close up, go.
2. 2 set.
2, roger. There you go. Don't be scared to come forward. Just a hair. Looking really good though. So again, with this particular formation, you should look left 90 degrees and be looking right into my cockpit, and I should be able to look right 90 degrees and look directly into your cockpit.
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind right now. So
Okay.
I'm moving up.
Yep, I know. Making adjustments was all I can ask for. You're doing a good job.
Using the cockpit specifically as a reference point is what's helping me here. I was just using the airplane, and that's not good enough. All right, now I feel like I'm in the right position.
And I agree with you. 2 switch sides, go.
2.
New reference heading 092.
Copy 092. 2 set.
2 Roger. All right, man. I think you've got it. Let's go to go wedge left. Go.
2.
All right, so let's talk about combat cruise. So the position you're at now, where you're just in a spread. So you remember when you're on the right side, now you've moved up to the left side. In the combat cruise, you can be pretty much in any of those positions between the spread left, spread right. You can go back to wedge, you can go trail, all of the above. You can move from the left side to the right side. Obviously, like I just said, you can go trail. So we'll use the combat cruise formation pretty much when we're doing sorties, and now maneuvering is going to be an issue. But I need you to stay with me, but you staying in perfect position isn't realistic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because your focus has to be on other things. You need a little green
Wiggle,
room.
yeah, absolutely. We're not worrying about looking like the Thunderbirds or anything of that nature. So,
I understand combat cruise because we have that in helicopters too.
Yeah, that's where I took it. That's where I got it from. So with that said, let's do a little practice with how things might go in the sortie. So again, to combat cruise formation, go. So, yeah, normally what'll happen is something will jump up on us, and I've got you in a combat cruise formation. Now, all of a sudden, I have to turn and burn. Now it's your responsibility to stay with me.
2 with you.
So I may just call engage defensive, whatever the case may be. But again, we're not worrying about your exact positioning. I'm not worrying about you, looking like a Thunderbird. Just stick with your lead. That's all you got to do. Provide separation. And these are kind of the type of maneuvers we'll have occasionally, not too often, but occasionally while we're actually, doing these sorties. This type of stuff we'll be kind of doing. Spark her up. Evading.
You're flaring, I'm flaring too.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Unless you're doing it to bring somebody in.
I'm just doing it just to make sure you have a good visual on me, but I can see you're behind me now, and you're doing a great job sticking with me.
No.
So.
Got you, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's what the combat cruise affords you. So you're not out of position by any stretch of the imagination. As long as you're with me, you're good to go. All right, so let's head to the north now. We'll go ahead and come out of burner, get her level back off. I'm going to start bringing her around to the north. Actually, let's plug her back in. I got a little slow. Sorry about that. I try to stay above 300 at all times. I don't know if you've noticed that, but that's kind of my min speed that I'm comfortable being with.
Jet just seems to fly better around there.
Yeah, that or above, 100%. I completely agree with you. Start getting into 200. She's still okay, especially if we're doing, BFM or something like that, or ACM, which will be coming a little bit later in your training. She's okay, but as far as cruising, yeah, I'd agree with you. 300, BVR, etc. So with that said, let's say again.
They all have helicopters like that too. They all have a speed they just want to fly at.
Oh yeah, completely agree with you. So
one say speed.
I'm at 330 right now.
Copy coming up.
Okay. So the next set of maneuvers are done specifically. These are 8th VFW or 8th Virtual Fighter Wing maneuvers that all of our pilots do. All of the fighter pilots, at least. I don't know about the A-10s. But anyways, what we're going to do now is called hook turns. Have you ever played football by chance? And if so, are you familiar with the wide receiver position?
No and no.
Okay. Have you done fishing before? Have you gone fishing before? You have any experience with that?
Oh, yeah, I live in Pensacola.
Okay, so perfect. So with your fishing hook, if you can kind of look at a hook, it goes straight and then it hooks back in a opposite direction, kind of in a 180-degree direction. Um, it looks kind of like a J, kind of a J. We call those hook turns. In football, we call them J hooks or hook turns. Here we call them hook turns. And essentially, so if you right now, if you look at your RWR, let's say right now MiG-21 just popped up to our 6 o'clock. And I want to get both you and I turn right away. Now, I could myself turn, make a 180-degree turn, and just expect you to follow, which is completely fine. But in the event that I want to get both of us turned right away, we'd use what's called a hook turn. And again, that's the point, is 180 degrees and the opposite direction. Does that all make sense?
Yes, and I think the difference in this, I'm going to guess here, is like a parade turn would be like if I stay right where I am and we turn together. A hook turn, I will turn inside of you.
Yeah, for the purpose of this, yeah. So again, with the hook turn, something urgent has popped up. Well, I'm going, oh crap, something's right on our 6 now, and I'm like, forget staying information. I need both of us turned right away, and we're not even going to worry about. And obviously, with that, it's going to break integrity. So your contract to stay in position and all that, it's going to go away with the hook turn. So what we're going to do, speak out of the way, pushing the throttle forward a hair. Sorry about that. So what we're going to do is, and I'm going to give you an example of the command for the hook turn. We're flying along. We got spike. MiG-21's behind us, just like we get that E3 spike. MiG-21 alert, let us know it's behind us. The command that I would give would be to right or left hook turn, and then I give a reference heading, reference 180. So for example, we're on the 360 now. So I go reference 180, and then on the command of go, we'd both spark up, so we'd both hit burner while simultaneously turning and maneuvering to get to that reference heading. And we want to pull about anywhere between 4 to 5 Gs to get there. Does that all make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Mike, I have a where do I wind up in relation to you? Will I wind up, well, we're facing 180. I'm going to be on your right or your left?
So when I flip back around, you're going to be on my right side if we do this properly. And this is going to take a little bit of kind of getting used to, but we should be pretty much turning in sequence. So if you look at our positioning now, it should be the complete opposite, except for we're going to go right. It's going to be the complete opposite of what it is now. So you should be a little bit ahead of me. But the thing is, you're going to be watching me the whole time, so you can adjust your turn with my turn. Hopefully that makes sense, so you don't overdo it.
Yep, I got it. When are we going to come out of burner?
So once we get on the reference heading, I'll call leads rolled out 180, and as I'm rolling out, I'll automatically come out of burner.
Okay, good.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, brother. On the command of go, you'll just call out 2, and then again, when I'm calling out leads rolling out 180, you'll call the same reference when you rolled out 180 as well. You're going to look at your G's right beneath the speed tape. It's got the 1 and then the 9 showing that your max the aircraft wants you to pull is 9 G's, and right now you should be at about 1 G. So here we go. All right, so it could be to the right or to the left. So to right hook turn, reference 180, go. So you'd acknowledge it just by saying 2.
2.
Okay. I'm at a 4G turn. I'm full burner. And there's 180, automatically out of burner, automatically rolled out. So leads rolled out 180.
All right, 2 rolled out 180.
Okay. And I see you've got me in sight, pretty much right behind me now. So that's essentially how it'll go. And so you see why, again, how it's used. We're just getting oriented very quickly.
Yeah, it's efficient.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Is there any questions about that? Did you see the 4 Gs with the turn? Did all that come together?
Yeah, I didn't really notice how many G's I was pulling. I think it was about right.
Okay. So again, if you look at the heading, the speed tape on the left side of your HUD, directly beneath that, you should see 10 and then 90. The 10 is actually just showing you your 1G, and the 90 is saying that the aircraft, I mean, we break that, but the aircraft doesn't want to go beyond 9Gs, which it will. All right.
All right, copy.
Okay, so here we go.
I know that was there, but I didn't see it in this, against the sun.
Okay, all good. So here we go. 2 left hook turn, reference 36. So again, in the F-15, it's actually 000. So 360000, same thing. So 2 left hook turn, reference 360, go.
2.
All right, leads rolled out, 360.
All right, 2 rolled out. That was about 5 Gs.
All right, perfect. How'd that feel?
Good. Not difficult at all. Easy to keep you in sight. You're doing something predictable, so I know where to look to find you.
There you go. All right, so here we go. Let's give that another try. 2 right hook turn, reference 180, go.
2.
All right, out of burner, leads rolled out, 180.
2 rolled out, 180.
Very nice, man. All right, have we gone over fuel checks yet?
No.
Okay, so let's finish it up these maneuvers and then we'll go over it. You should be good. How much fuel are you showing us for the fuel quantity? I'm at 15.1.
15 zeros.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Got plenty of
14.9
gas.
now.
Okay, plenty of gas. All right, so next up, so that's a hook turn, and again, that gets us 180 degrees off of where we're going. We can also use what's called a tack turn. Now, a tack turn is essentially the same motion, the same everything as a hook turn, but it's going to be less than 180 degrees. We'll normally use this. So for example, what we're going to use we're going to use 90-degree turns here, but they can be 120-degree turns. They can be 45-degree turns. Essentially what these turns are doing with both the hook turn and the tack turn, what that's doing is, I'm telling you, don't worry about sticking with me. I need you oriented as quickly as I'm trying to get oriented, because we have something close and we need to maneuver. And hopefully that's making sense.
Yep, I got it. It's
Okay.
just a less than 180 version of the hook turn.
That's exactly what the tack turns are. All right.
Geometry and the comms are all the same.
Exactly. Other than me saying, instead of saying hook turn, I'm going to say tack turn. Okay. So an example of this would be a tack turn to the left or right. So the like you just said, the phraseology would be the same. Lead or to left or right, tack turn. And then I give a reference heading, or I could say reference left 90 or left 45, whatever the case may be. I normally, personally, will use settings. We'll use a heading, but some of the guys that you'll fly with may just go, hey, left tack turn 90 degrees, go. Again, so you've got to be aware of both. But again, with me and this training and for this exercise, I'm going to give reference headings each time. All right.
All right, got it.
Okay, so the command for that would be left, example command would be left tack turn, reference, what's that, 090 go. And then we both pull left, same parameters, full burner, 4-degree turn until we're rolled on a 090. And we can do the opposite, right tack turn, reference 270 go. And then the same thing, burner, 4G turn, and then rolled out and out of burner on the 270. Okay.
Got it.
All right, so here we go. Any questions at all about what we're about to do?
No questions.
Okay. Let's push the throttle forward here. Airspeed got a little low at 300. All right. To left tack turn, reference 090, go.
2.
Leads rolled out, 090.
2 rolled out.
Okay. How'd that feel?
Yeah, pretty good. Simple. A little behind. I'm catching up.
Okay, no problem. To left tack turn, reference 360, go.
2.
Leads are rolled out, 360.
Rolled out.
All right, make sure you call out the heading, 2 rolled out, 360. So pretty much you're just repeating what I just read out.
That said, 2 rolled out, 360.
There you go. Okay. To right tack turn, reference 090, go.
2.
Leads rolled out, 090.
2 is rolled out, 090.
Very nice. Looking good, man. Stick with it. To left tack turn, reference 360, go.
2.
There you go. Excellent. Leads rolled out, 360.
2 rolled out, 000.
Really nice. Okay, listen up. Here's about to be a curveball. A little bit of a curveball, so listen up. To right hook turn, reference 180, go.
2.
Leads rolled out, 180.
2 rolled out, 180.
All right, brother. You're doing really good. To left tack turn, reference 090, go.
2.
Leads rolled out, 090.
2 rolled out, 090.
To right hook turn, reference 270, go.
2.
Leads rolled out, 270.
2 rolled out, 270.
All right. That's it, brother. I think that is all we need to run through. It is all we need to run through. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and RTB, get set up for the overhead, man. You can go ahead and go attack Christian Combat Cruise formation. Once we get about within 30 miles of the airfield, I'll have us start getting formed up, all right?
I copy.
I was evaluating you for both your wedge and spread formations, which you passed, did very well with. And then also your advanced formation turns and maneuvers, you did very well with as well. So being your tack turn and your hook turn. So with that said, man, you're next up for the B course. A lot of guys, as we start going through the B course, will kind of start getting away from their formation practice and staying sharp with it. You're very sharp at this moment, so just stick with it, all right? Don't let it get away from you. And excuse me, with that said, man, we'll start getting into the meat and potatoes of the aircraft next. Essentially flinging missiles, BVR, going over cap, different types of cap, your bar cap, half cap, tar cap, things of that nature, and essentially how to be a good wingman for these sorties that we're going through. All right.
Cool. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think you'll have a good time, man. Any questions about anything that we've gone over at all?
No, no other ones. I kind of asked them as we went.
All right.
B course is where we do stuff like refueling.
Yeah, we've got a lot of tasks. That's where you're going to do all your air-to-air tasks. You're going to build off of what you've already done. But yeah, refueling is one of the tasks that we have to get you signed off before you're done, and that before you can actually officially enter the squadron. So it's pretty much where all the real stuff, because what we're doing now is this is what all the aircraft do, whether you're in a 16, 18, I imagine the A-10 guys or what have you do the same thing. But the B course is where we'll employ the missiles. We'll talk about missiles, weapon deployment zones, no escape, all the above. How we set up our grinders within the 122nd. So it's kind of where you learn how to fight first learn how to utilize the aircraft to fight, and then also how to fight with the squadron with the aircraft.
That's the reason we're here.
That's it. I mean, I like a little formation training, but yeah, I'd rather be firing AMRAAMs and evading missiles any day of the week.
Running the chess game, putting certain guys in, make sure certain guys are out.
That's it. That's the game. That's the grinder. Tell me about your helicopter squadron, if you feel like it.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can put some missions together where you guys are kind of supporting us. We have all the helicopters, all the com block stuff, all the U.S. stuff, all the French stuff, and they fly in different roles that are appropriate for their airframes. We have Apaches out there doing recon and killing stuff, OH-58s, the 47s, Hueys, and Mi-8s. They're primarily lift, and they'll do things like deploy JTACs out in the field. Or we can do stuff like if you have someone that wants to act as a JTAC, we can deploy the vehicle for you. We've got a whole bunch of really cool scripting that we do in-house that allows us to do a lot of cool shit with the troops that we drop on the ground. We can have them go to different places and accomplish different things. And yeah, it's just we're all helicopters all the time. We don't do any fixed wing there, and we also don't do any PvP.
It's funny you say that because the command team has recently talked about. Yeah, we'll talk after this. Our command team has just recently talked about adding a couple of helos here and there, and ramping up our helo ops. So I think you guys would actually be really good just for that role right there. That'd be great. So we'll talk once. Yeah, we'll definitely
Yeah,
talk
I mean,
after this for sure.
we come as a package that you can just bolt right on.
Yeah, because yeah, I think that'd be great. I think it'd be perfect actually. So I'm actually excited.
While we're flying back, I'm like fine-tuning my my formation here.
Perfect. Make it looking pretty good. Anyway, so the overhead pattern, we've done this before, and I know I talked to you about it the last time because I'm always rambling about it, but normally on a normal basis, what you have to do is calculate the airfield elevation, and then you'll round up to the nearest hundredth. So for example, let's say the airfield elevation, just for an easy number, is 1750. You'll round up to 1800, and then you'll add 1500 on top of that. And that'll be our pattern what we call the pattern altitude, or the altitude we want as a fighter to fly the overhead. Normally, fighters will be at 1,500 feet above the airfield elevation. Your standard aircraft, your cargo, your heavies, your C-130s, let's say you got some Lear jets, civilian jets, C-172s or what have you, they'll normally fly the overhead 1,000 feet above the airfield elevation, and your helicopters will be 500 feet above the airfield elevation. And that's a way to deconflict the aircraft and the different types of airframes that have different airspeeds, etc. So let's see if I can spot the airfield. Okay, I've got the airfield in sight. I'm slowly coming right, and we are coming down. We're 20 miles out. So we're going to start coming down a little bit further, and I'm bringing the throttle back a little bit further. Now, whichever side you're on is normally the side that I'm going to brake the opposite off. So if you're on the right side, or rather, if I want to brake to the left, I would keep you on the side you're on. If I want to brake to the right, I'd switch you to the left side. And that's obviously so that I don't brake into you.
Yep, got it.
Last, the airspeed for the overhead. Each airfield will have its own restriction. So some airfields will say, hey, we want the overhead flown at 300 knots. Some airfields will say we want it flown at 350. Some will say between 300 to 350. Normally, you'll have a specific speed they want you to fly at so that they can keep a sequence. Meaning, let's say you're the first flight, say you and I are the first one into the airfield and we're only doing 300 knots. They don't want to have to worry about someone doing 350 or 400 knots coming up behind us and overtaking us. And possibly crashing into us, which is why they'll have a speed limit on the overhead more times than not. So right now we're doing about 330 on the knots. We're working to get our speed pulled in. 2 switch sides go. Also, I want you to close it up. So throttle slowly coming forward. We don't want to get too slow. And we are continuously pushing the nose down. We are at what they call a 10-mile initial, or 10 miles from the airfield. And we're going to level off at about 1,500 feet. 2 Roger. So this is when we want to tighten it up. So close up as close as you're as comfortable as being. I'm pretty much straight and level. Once I get to 1,500 feet, I'm pushing the nose down. But when we get to about 1,500 feet, I'm going to level out. I'm going to make a right turn to the downwind, roll out on about a 0, I think it's 070 here, or 050, I believe. All right, so coming up on 1,500 feet, we're at 310 knots-ish. I'm slowly bringing the nose up to level out. Nose is coming up. Throttle's going forward just a hair. All right. We are level here. Go and close up a little more if you can. If not, no big deal. Once I give it over the approach end of the runway, I'm going to brake to the right, You're going to carry through, count to 5, and then you're going to brake to the right as well. And we're going to roll out, I believe, on a 070. I'm pretty sure, not 100% about that. Looking good, man. All right. I'm going to brake, count to 5, and I'll see you in the downwind.
2 in the brake.
All right.
So we're keeping that throttle throughout this?
I haven't touched the throttle at all. Here's 070. I'm rolled out. My airspeed is down to 220. I'm bringing the gear and the flaps down. I'm checking the runway. Yep, that 070 worked out really well. I've yet to touch the throttle. My airspeed is about 225 now. My hand is completely off the throttle. I'm looking back at the runway. I've intercepted a 45-degree angle, and now I am turning base to final. I'm pushing the nose down 2.5 degrees. And now I've got to start manipulating the throttle because my speed is getting low, so I'm just barely bumping it forward just a hair. Looking back at the runway as I turn base, trying to hold a 2.5 degrees nose down attitude. Pushing the throttle forward just a hair. All right, I need to increase my rate of turn to get lined up. I need to roll out. Okay, here we are. And I'm on final now, 200 knots. I'm bringing the throttle down. I'm pushing my flight path vector beneath or below the approach into the runway because I want a shallowed out approach. Airspeed's down to 190. And now I'm bringing in a little throttle. I'm pulling the nose up to get the flight path vector on the approach end. So right now my airspeed is 180, which is good. And the C model, I'm pushing the throttle forward. Air brake is on. Oh, that was a bit of a hard landing, but we're good.
All right, 2 is on fire.
Okay. Yeah, I call that a Hornet landing. I may have messed up one of my landing. Now, it's important when you're on these rollouts to be very gentle on your controls, your inputs. I'm moving to the right side. Air brake's coming off. Looking good. Really easy on the rudders because she'll start breakdancing on you really quick.
It did, yeah. Okay.
Excellent. Got to slow down really well. Really good flight. Really good landing. Yeah, today's an A+ for you, brother.
Damn, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. You've put in the work to get here, so it makes my job easier. With that said, man, we're not going to take the time to go ahead and taxi to park. Let's go ahead and jump off this server, and we'll do a quick debrief, all right?
All right, see you on Discord.
Yes, sir.